Hi, this is your anime bro, and today we are diving deep into the story of Shangri-La Frontier. Hope you like it. The main character of the anime is Rakuro Hizutome, a high school student who loves to play trash games, or games that are poorly designed, buggy, and frustrating. He enjoys finding the flaws and glitches in these games and overcoming them with his skills and patience. He is also a collector and breeder of butterflies and insects, which he keeps in his house. The episode begins with a scene of Hizutome playing a trash game called Furia, where he defeats the Dark Lord while wearing only underwear and a bird mask. His elf companion, Lilia, cries and praises him, but he kicks her in the face as a revenge for all the trouble she caused him in the game. He then takes off his VR glasses and ends the game. He goes to school, where he is considered a freak by his classmates. He is approached by a girl named Rei Saiga, who is secretly a fan of his gaming exploits and wants to talk to him about games. However, before she can say anything, he is interrupted by another student who asks him about Furia. Hizutome rants about how terrible the game is. After school, Rei goes to a game shop called Rockroll, where she meets the owner, Mana Iwamaki. She is also a fan of gaming and knows that Rei is here to find Hizutome. Suddenly Hizutome walks into the gaming store and starts to talk with the owner and tells her that he beat the previous game Furia and kicked the NPC girl in her face. It was very satisfying to him. While Rei is listening to their conversation, shop owner suggests that he should try a good game for a change, and introduces him to Shangri-La Frontier, a popular VR game that is praised for its immersive and realistic world, graphics, and gameplay, which Rei also plays. Hizutome is intrigued by the game and decides to buy it. Hizutome returns home and reads the blog Abby at Shangri-La Frontier that it has over 30 million players and is developed by Utopia Entertainment Software, UES, a leading company in the gaming industry. Then he puts on his VR glasses to start the game. He is amazed by the character customization options and the quality of the graphics. He creates a twin-blade mercenary wanderer, but he sells all of his armor to buy better weapons. He ends up with only a bird mask and shorts as his clothing. He then enters the game world, which is a vast and beautiful landscape full of creatures and adventures. Then he climbs a tree and describes the game beautiful. After checking his map, he sees a town nearby and starts his journey in that direction. He encounters a goblin which looked strong but easily defeats it with one hit, earning a hand axe and a level up. He immediately gets attacked by a bunny which aims at his neck, but he evades the bunny's attacks and starts to fight back and defeats the bunny. Then he gains Vorpal blades and some skills. Suddenly he notices that there is no bug inside this game, which makes him happy. After killing many monsters, he completes his twin blade style. He is excited to explore the game and see what challenges and surprises it has to offer. The episode ends with him running towards a forest, where he hears a roar of a dragon. The episode begins with Sanraku fighting against the arena boss, the Great Devouring Snake, who is blocking the bridge to the town of Firstia. The snake is level 10 and the game recommends a party to defeat it, but Sanraku decides to challenge it solo. He uses his skills and agility to dodge the snake's attacks, such as swallowing, poisoning, constricting, biting, and tail swinging. He manages to hit it, but his normal dagger breaks in half instantly, so he decides to cut him with his Vorpal choppers and uses screw pierce on it but gets poisoned in return, which drains his 1 health per second. But besides that, he quickly starts to fight again with the boss and starts to think of creating a weak spot in the snake's tough scales and uses screw pierce and deals a fatal blow. Then he attacks rapidly at the wounded spot, gaining critical hits. Then the boss throws him in the air and regenerates his wound to its body and plans to swallow Sanraku, but he blocks its mouth and jumps on his head, then hits him with a strong attack which defeats the boss, earning a rare drop and a level up. Sanraku then notices that he is still poisoned and starts to run towards the town at high speed, crosses the bridge and enters Firstia, where he is greeted by 2 friendly players named Yamamoto and Mia, who guides him to the inn. Sanraku is focused on his current quest, which is to register at the inn and get a respawn point. Sanraku arrives at the inn in a bad shape and meets the owner, a middle-aged woman. She welcomes him and gives him a room key. Sanraku thanks her and rushes to his bed and successfully registers his respawn point, then dies immediately. Then he wakes up in real world and is happy that he has not lost all his progress in the game. Next day he walks throughout the town planning his next move and notices that everyone is looking at him because he is half naked and decides to buy cheapest armor just to cover his body and throws the green mask. Then we see him talking to the weaponsmith about the axe, but he tells Senriku that it won't last long. Senriku replies to the weaponsmith that his vorpal chops are better than any of his shop's weapons. Then he gets suggested that he should bring some more so that his weapon can be crafted, and the scene shifts to Senriku mining in mud. Then he gets disturbed by a frog after getting annoyed. Senriku decides to finish it with his axe, but he is immune to slash attacks, and then it gets hit by the goblin axe and dies, giving him the loot. And after that he comes back to the weaponsmith and gives him the materials to craft his new weapons, and he shows his green daggers and is notified that they can be upgraded further to increase its power. And any craftsman can do it for him, and also gets the information about the monsters which become more powerful at night, so it is better not to exit the town at night. But Senriku gets excited that upon defeating strong enemies he will leave LUP very fast. On the other side, a player defeats arena boss in one slash, and we get to know that it is Rei who is looking for him. Then we see Senriku during a battle with Goblin, in which the Goblin acts more violent and has better skills than Daytime, also his HP is an ace. Senriku was impressed with Theet and finds it challenging. Then Goblin calls its friends to attack him in a group and they jump on him together, and Senriku is having very fun facing this challenge and starts to attack, but suddenly all the goblins are wiped away in a single hit by Sumion, and we see as Senriku's eyes get wide upon seeing Lycagon, who is a massive wolf-like creature with sharp teeth and claws, and a scarred eye. He roars at Sanraku and prepares to attack him. The episode ends with a cliffhanger, leaving the fate of Sanraku unknown.